Hello and welcome to the Stanley Preview Show. We've got loads of exclusive content over the next half hour or so sit back and enjoy an inside look into Accrington Stanley. And we're joined in Coley's by a man who's absolutely buzzing to be on the show today, Jack Nolan. So first off, thanks for giving up your time, and how are you, mate?
Cheers for having me, mate. Yeah, I'm right.
And obviously we're still very early in the season, but you've got to be buzzing with the start that you've made.
Yeah, I'm delighted. I think from a team perspective, I think we've done well. I think we're fourth at the moment, so obviously 1-2, drawn 1, lost 1, so obviously it could be better, yeah, but I think you take it. But then personally, yeah, I think it's great for me. I had a good pre-season, so to carry that on into the start of the season's been great, and hopefully it can continue.
And obviously at this stage of the year in any season, you can sort of be top 3 one minute and then looking over your shoulder the next. Is it just about getting as many points as early as possible and seeing where we end up in a
yeah, I think sometimes you get too carried away. I think you just got, like the gaffer said to us, he says it all the time, is just take one game at a time. Don't look ahead, and don't dwell on things like when we should have beat Barrow, really. Like, don't dwell on it and go and put it right on the Saturday, which we did. But like you said, it's the league's up and down at the moment anyway. The league won't actually take its natural shape probably till, say, October, November, really. But at the moment I think we're just focusing on winning games and controlling what we can control, sort of thing, and then hopefully if we look after ourselves, the league will look after us.
And with the first month of the season over and out, we decided to take a trip down memory lane back to the start of the year. So we got Jack and one of our star performers from the season to talk us through the opening day of the season against Newport County.
Welcome back to the Wham Stadium. Me and Jack Nolan here, going to be watching the game back for the first game of the season. Everyone looks happy to be out there?
Yeah.
First game of the season?
Yeah, I have to admit, Jay looks really happy. Look at him with his hands going up and he's clapping people when there's no one actually behind him.
You don't want to clap fans, man?
Game face, mate.
Here we go then.
Here we go.
Skip. He's got to move the ball quicker.
Skip gets the ball in the boat race. He's got some of that.
He's got to bring them ones down now, hasn't he?
Here we go.
Go on then, Big Josh. Oh, get off.
Here we go. Nolan, what?
Oh, have some of that.
Nah, to be fair, if it's that side of the keeper, it's in there.
Good effort, mate. I don't mind it. It's a good start, though.
Coily pointing at someone again.
That's good there, from the big man up front.
Yeah, Big Vic. Not too bad.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Get out.
Big Brad up with the head of that.
Good head.
Big Vic. Tom Boyd. Here we go. Look, partner in crime. Find me, son.
Nolan.
A bash.
1-0 in the onion.
1-0. Cheers for coming. First goal of the season.
There they are. Done and done it. And
you get really excited, don't you, when you celebrate a goal? You ain't even scored the goal. You thought you scored.
I love that,
yeah. Look at that, look. Time to perfection. Look at the touch, look. Watch. Bang. Bosh. Onion bag.
You had to think about going over to the away fans, didn't you?
Well, no, yeah, but I was looking for Sue, to be fair, but I couldn't find her. Here we go, look.
It's another big header.
Cool.
Tom, pressing.
Yeah, Gingy.
There he is. In the box. Oh,
that's unbelievable. There's me just bundled him over there. Oh, nice Jack, well done. Put him back on the counter attack.
it's all backs against the wall right now. There he is. There's the Toby Savin.
Big Vic.
Skip, doing what he does best. Up people.
Sure when he's flying it. Oh, Skipper, look at that.
Oh no, he's just started the counter attack. There it is, Chips. Oh, that's good. Good football.
Coily, nailing people. Here we go.
There you go.
It's like watching Perlo in there with Skipper, isn't it? Where he is. Gingy.
Bang. Oh.
It's actually unlucky that.
It's a great save. Yeah. It's a great save from the keeper. Poor Ships. Bless him, I don't think he scored a goal in 14 years.
Yeah, he's got... What's this here? Here he is, Big Vic. Shock, he lost another header.
Oh, I love that from Ships.
Here we go.
Bros.
Oh, it's unlucky that, the ball.
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh, this is it. Here we are. Bex, whip that in.
Have some of that.
Wally.
Bang.
Bang. Onion bag. Have some of that. I think that's the first header I've ever seen Sean Wally do.
Really?
Yeah.
Took it well though. Took it really well.
Really good goal.
Ships as well, all of us.
That was a good goal, actually.
Yeah.
Really good goal. Never seen Seb cross that. He's been watching my crossing tutorials, on YouTube.
That's a whip, that. He's
had Boy Scout out, and he.
Yeah. Trent.
Cody, look at Cody. Look, Cody starts putting his shorts in that. Oh, here we go. Look, Skips turns into Messi here. Look, fouls him. Back heel. Here you go.
Have some of that. Whip. Bang.
He didn't even know you had a cross in you.
Yeah.
And Cody.
I'm surprised as well.
Cody don't want to celebrate.
He looks happy, doesn't he?
Oh, he always is happy, mate, I tell you.
Look at all of us.
Look at that skip, look, bang, have some of that.
Good awareness out there.
Back heel.
There's an unbelievable cross. Straight down the corridor. A1. Bosh.
Sean Wally got wiped out for that one as well.
And that is it for the first game of the season. And that is me and Jack Nolan out.
So I want to rewind a little bit to sort of last year. I know me and you spoke a lot about sort of game time and your form, etc. And obviously you were scoring for fun in 23s, but never really got that break. How tough was that for you, sort of physically and mentally?
I wouldn't say it was physically really tough for me, like on my body, because obviously I wasn't playing obviously week in week out, but mentally it was, because you look at you're scoring goals, you're doing well, and you think we arguably weren't doing as well as we should have been with the injuries and that. But then at the end of the day, it's obviously the man in charge of the gaffer, and you have to just be ready whenever you're called upon. And I think that's why when I went back in the off season back home to Southampton, that I just constantly trying to get myself fit to come back, to sort of make it not impossible, but to make it hard to leave me out. And I think everyone now knows, coaching staff, players, even the fans and everyone around the club, what my game is about now, which obviously helps as well. But it was frustrating, but then at the same time it's never going to be straightforward in football. You're always going to have ups, you're going to have downs, and there's going to be times where you're flying, then you're not, but obviously it's them times when you're not on a high, how you deal with that and get yourself out of that hole, if you see what I mean. Which I think I've done coming back now.
And obviously, like you say, you're back now and you're flying with goals and assists. So are you happy in a sense that you're not just proving doubters wrong, but you're also proving yourself right? Because the amount of conversations we had where we kind of knew that you had it in you, now you're proving that.
Yeah, I've always known I've had it in me. I've always been told and always believed my own ability, ever since I was a young kid. But I think, this year, I think at the moment everything's just clicking for me, if you know what I mean. I'm feeling more confident the more games I'm playing, rather than coming in and there's a little bit more pressure on you, because you think I'm coming in, I've got to do well, otherwise I'm not involved again. So that pressure's sort of off me now, and I can just sort of go out and express myself and enjoy myself, which I have been, and I think is evident in the way that I've started, and that's so yeah.
And then obviously I heard you talking about your family being up for the Harrogate game. Throughout your career you've sort of just moved more and more north.
Yeah, I've been in Scotland in a minute, I think, if I leave here.
How tough is that for you and for them? First off?
Well, for me, obviously I left at 14 when obviously I went to Reading, so I'm sort of used to it now, but it is still hard, because obviously I'm miles away, so I don't get to see them as much obviously I want to, but obviously like seeing them Saturday, and obviously I've not seen them since I've been back up here really, so it was great, and my family is so supportive of me, and I think it is hard, especially on my mum, because I am a bit of a mummy's boy. I think I'm quite happy to say that, but now I miss them all the time, but then at the same time it's a short career, you've got to go wherever it takes you, but I think I'm better equipped now for it. I'm 22 now, I'm growing up, I'm not a 14-year-old kid no more, so although my mum does go on like I am a kid still, but now I've got used to it. You have ups and downs when you miss home, like obviously when they left Saturday, Sunday I woke up and thought, bloody hell, I'm not going to see him now for a few weeks, but it's it's the life I chose at the end of the day, you know, and the life they've pushed me to pursue. So just keep going and make them proud, really.
It must have felt good scoring in the fashion that you did, though.
Yeah, you know, obviously, yeah, you're going to be frustrated that obviously, yeah, I was like on the bench or whatever after a good start, but then there's so many games to come, and obviously to come on and do that, and it's not just going to be me that's going to be able to do it. There's going to be other players that are going to come on, you know, and impact the games. You know, I think you've seen in all the games we've played, that like all the subs have come on and done brilliant. So in that aspect, that's obviously a good thing for the squad to have the depth that we've got, especially in the attacking areas of the pitch. But for me personally, obviously knowing that they were here as well, you know, it was great feeling.
And then, I mean, it's a great story, and one that we all hope sort of keeps going the way it has. And speaking of great stories, I caught up with a boyhood Accrington fan who made his home debut earlier this month. So I asked Conor O'Brien to talk us through his football journey and take us to a few places that have played a significant part in his life. We asked you to take us on your sort of journey and pick out some places that have played a big role in your career and your journey as a footballer. So where have you brought us first?
When you asked me that, the first thing that came to my mind was this place. It's just a field, literally a wall, and I used to come down here from 6 onwards maybe, every day or whenever I felt like it, whenever I could. Just practice, just kicking the ball against there, left foot, right foot, shooting. I bring my friends down, we used to pass on the field, we used to do everything on here. I literally lived on here, this was my place.
And sort of, what's the sort of feeling that you get when you come here?
Just nostalgia, it brings back so many good memories. Also memories when like, I was, you know, maybe not playing and I felt motivated and wanting to like improve. I used to come down here and just keep working, keep practicing. Or like we might have like a meeting on things I need to work on, and straight away I'd come here and think, right, what can I work on, what can I do to improve? And this was the place I used to come.
Conor, you've brought us to Radcliffe. Obviously you had your first loan spell here, moving away from Aki for the first time. So how did you find all that sort of experience?
It was good. It was a good experience. I was nervous before I went because I didn't really know what to expect, but everyone at the club was welcoming and I had a really good time there. We ended up winning the trophy, almost got the playoffs, and I felt like I learnt a lot while I was there.
Was it sort of quite a daunting experience for you, obviously moving into men's football for the first time, and that step up from academy to proper, you know, like men's football?
I think I was more excited for the challenge, to try and test myself against like men and bigger players, and a different challenge to what I've been having at like 23s football.
And then, of course, obviously, we were just speaking off camera before about a couple of goals that you scored. What was that first proper feeling of, you know, scoring in front of, you know, multiple fans, and how much it meant to them, I'm assuming?
Oh, it was so good. Such a good feeling. I can't describe the feeling of when you score. It's so good, and to do it like at a big occasion, so like the cup final, and in front of like all the fans, because we brought quite a lot of fans that day, I remember, because they were really loud. And when I scored, everyone roared. I turned around, seen everyone, I thought, oh wow, this is good, you know what I mean? We were 1-0 down away at Matlock, battered them the whole game, and we deserved more. And then we ended up, I think we had like a cross into the box in like the 93rd, 94th minute. I've jumped, it's at the back of my head, gone in. I've run off celebrating, and all the lads have run the other way. I thought, where is everyone like this? But yeah.
Moving in, obviously you had to come back to Aki.
Yeah.
And then sort of going back into that experience, was it sort of a bit of a weird time for you, but one where it taught you a lot, kind of thing?
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed the whole loan, and when I come back, I'd learnt a lot, and it gave me more confidence to do better when I was back at Aki. And then I had to go back out on loan, which was tough because I wanted to stay at Aki and obviously play. But I understood that I had to keep showing myself, keep proving myself if I do want to play for Aki, and that's what I wanted to do. You've brought us back to Accrington. What's this place, and where is it falling in significance with your footballing journey? We're at Aki Academy football fields, and this is where we used to play all of our home academy games from like under 8 till maybe under 14, under 15, and it's like it brings like real nostalgia again, because I can see the progression of all the pitches, the under 8 pitch, the under 9 pitch, under 10, and so on. And as it goes on, and they get bigger and bigger, and all the amount of goals we scored, and all the good memories these pitches bring. But yeah, no, it's nice. I remember there's one that sticks out. We played under 11, and I was playing on the left wing, and my friend from school was playing for Blackpool, and he was playing right back, and I scored 4, and I never normally score, but I scored 4 against him, and I think we won, and we didn't really used to win that often against Blackpool because they were a good team. But I remember we beat them, and I scored 4. It was on, I think, that pitch over there actually. And I remember it. Yeah, no, that was probably the main memory that sticks out from these pitches.
The final place you've brought us to on your footballing journey so far, obviously the Clayton end, pretty specific stand. Just tell me what this place as a whole means to you.
This is my life, this place. Ever since I was really, really young, I've always gone to Aki games. And I think as soon as I could like walk and talk and shout, I'd come behind you, and I used to like sing all the songs and know every song and all that. I've done that my whole life till maybe like 15, 16, and then I started getting too old to do it. Started getting recognised, so I had to go and sit over there. But if it were up to me, I'd come and stand here now.
So, just take me back to right at the start. How old were you when you first started coming on here?
I think maybe around the time I signed, maybe around 8 was like consistently, because all the academy lads used to go, so we used to all go and come in our training kit and things, and we used to come here because there used to be seats down the bottom of the Clayton, and all this was stood up, and we used to all sit in the seats right in front of where they were singing. We used to know all the songs, the whole team used to know all the songs. Then we go to training, all sing the songs and stuff like that. And
talk to me a little bit about your family. Sort of, I know briefly they're all from sort of an Accrington background, but what does it mean to them to see you playing on this pitch?
I think they're proud. I think obviously they support Aki. They go all the games. They've got season tickets, things like that. And I think for me to play for Aki like means even more, rather than just playing for any other club. I think the fact it is Aki, I think that makes it like a bigger thing. So I think they're proud and tell me that. So.
How supportive have they been in terms of, you know, like your Radcliffe loan spell sort of in the future for your career as a whole? So
supportive. Obviously they're Aki fans first and foremost, so they want me to do well at Aki. But if my career doesn't involve Aki in the future, they're fine with that. I think they're so supportive of me. Like what you said about the Radcliffe thing, when that come along, they were so supportive then. Whatever they thought was best for me, they're happy with. And then obviously when they knew I was coming back to Aki, they was even happier then.
And just finally, just whilst we're here, what was your favourite song whilst you used to be on here?
Oh, favourite song. I got asked this yesterday on the coach actually about one of our favourite songs and things like that. But I always like the He's One of Our Own one. And it used to be Ross Sykes, and now maybe it might be me one day.
Little hint in there to
get one day.
What was the other players when they were talking about yesterday?
Oh, well, they don't really go the game, so we was talking about like Aki chants, and then obviously they come up to me because they knew I was going to know most of the chants. So I think it was Aaron Pickles come up to me asking, go on, what's your favourite chant, or can you name a few? So I started singing them all on the coach yesterday. But no, maybe He's One of Our Own. I think I like that one because obviously it relates to me, and also the lads that have come through, I know them most of the time, so I'm happy for them when the fans are singing their name.
So then finally, obviously back against Port Vale away, made your debut. Sort of talk me through that entire sort of day before, day after, day of experience.
Yeah, well, I think I found out the day before that I was going to be involved, going to be travelling, and normally when you're travelling you look around and you count how many numbers there are. Are there more than 18? Am I going to be on the bench or do I not know? And I'm pretty sure we only took 18 that day. So I thought, you know, I'm going to be on the bench. So I was happy about that. And then I didn't really think about playing necessarily because you don't know how the game's going to pan out. You don't know if you're going to play. But I remember when the game was going on, we went down to 10 men and we were 1-1 and we were really tight. And I remember when I was warming up and I was thinking, I just really want to come on. And normally you're nervous, but I wasn't nervous. I was just excited. And the gaffer's gone like, you know, give me the shout. And I thought, this is my moment. So I've gone up, I've obviously put the top on and I've come on. And as soon as I come on, I felt like I belonged there. Normally you feel nervous or you'd expect to feel nervous, but I didn't. I felt like that's where I was meant to be. and it was a tough game, but it was good. I enjoyed that. It was like, I look back at my short career so far, that was like the moment that sticks out to me, that first game.
And obviously it was a massive point, sort of like you said, down to 10 men, we were up against it. I think there was quite a lot of added time, weren't there? Sort of 7 or 8 minutes sticks in my head. 8
minutes, yeah.
What were you thinking when that board goes up?
I remember because I was looking at the time when I first come on, and I think it was like the 79th. So I thought, I've got 11 minutes. That's all right. I can have a chance to impress. And then they put the 8 up, and I thought, do you know what I mean? 8 more minutes and I'm still playing. But nah. Do you know what? As a selfish point, it was more time to try and play. But obviously, we wanted to see out the draw, and so I wanted the least amount of time as possible so we could get the draw. But we ended up getting it anyways.
And then, obviously, after Port Vale, you've got Oxford on the final game of the season. I guess the pressure was off a little bit because of obviously circumstances. What was that experience like for you? Because obviously you were named man of the match. It was a hell of a performance from not just the entire team but from you personally. What was that day like?
See, that game I was nervous. There was no pressure. It was the final day. I knew I was playing. I'd known for a few days that I could have been playing. But I was nervous. I don't really know why. I think it was just first start in the league. Like, Oxford were a good team. And even though we had like nothing to play for, it was still, you were playing for pride. You were playing for a spot the season after. It was your chance to impress. But as the game went on, I think I grew into the game. Started really fast, really hard. I remember the 20 minutes in, I looked at the time and thought, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? I was like breathing really heavily, but then once the game went on, especially into the second half, I felt more comfortable again. And then I started to feel at home again, started to feel like I belonged there. And I think it helped at the time because there was a few experienced lads around me, and they're always out, when you're playing with them.
Yeah.
But again, like I said before, when I look back, that's another moment I look back and I think it was a good time, that, especially after the game when we'd won the game. And, I could relax, and I'd done it then. I'd played the full game. I was happy then.
Was that sort of like a really sinking in moment? Because I remember doing the interview with you after the game, and you weren't starstruck, but it was a little bit like that just happened kind of thing. And I'm man of the match here, and for my boyhood club, was that sort of a proper significant moment, not just in your career but in your life, sort of thing?
I think if I was to look back now, yeah. But at the time, I remember just wanting more. It's hard to settle and look back at what you're doing because you're always wanting to keep moving forward. But if I look back now, I think, yeah, it was a good time, and it was a good moment in my career that I've had so far.
And then, obviously, we've got Bradford just a few days ago from when we're recording this. What was that like for you in terms of new season, new setup, sort of few couple fresh faces, especially in that back line? What was that like for you?
That was my home debut, so that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, of the three. Because just walking out instantly and seeing the crowd and seeing the roar and that, I thought, yeah, this is what I've always dreamed of. This is what I've always wanted. And the game didn't necessarily quite go our way, but I didn't think we was that poor or anything. I thought we was all right. I think personally, I thought I did all right as well. So I enjoyed that game, and I didn't feel nervous in that one. I felt like, I belonged, and I think it helps when the fans are cheering you on, and I look over, my whole family are in the stands, and so I like that one as well. That one felt good.
What was your family's reaction when they knew you were going to be playing?
Do you know, I didn't, normally when you're playing, the day before, but I didn't know I was playing until literally as he read the team sheet out, my name was on there. So I quickly messaged them, I'm starting. So they were ringing up the family members, make sure you're there, make sure you're coming. And yeah, no, it was good. I think they was really happy. I was happy. They were probably more nervous than me as well, because hoping I impressed, but no, it was good.
Now, two things I sort of gathered when I met you, Jack, was that you love the cameras and you were very competitive. So we've set you and Brad up with a bit of a challenge to sort of get you in a bit of a competitive mood for the weekend's fixture. So here's how the lads got on. Right, so Jack and Brad, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you topics to name, and you've got to do it within 20 seconds. So, Brad, first one, name one player from Accrington with the initials SW. Go.
Sean Wally.
That's easy, that. Watch me get something hard here. Go on. Far away.
Jack, name me one capital city outside of the UK.
Capital, Munich. Capital, Madrid.
Munich.
What's the capital of Germany?
Berlin.
I was actually going to say that, but I didn't think it was.
Just give me the example.
I don't know, do I? You got a question about football, got a question about geography.
Name 2 sets of derby matches.
Norwich, Ipswich, Liverpool, Everton.
I can't believe you've not said Southampton, Portsmouth. That's a shambles. Shambles.
Get in there.
Jack, name 2 clubs within Yorkshire.
Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United. I was trying to think where Yorkshire is then.
Yeah, if I got that.
If I got Yorkshire is then, yeah.
They'll have to cut it out.
You've got further than a thought. Name 3 Accrington Stanley goal scorers so far this year.
Cody, Sean Morley, and Jack Nolan.
I was about to say, if you left me out there, I was about to say, I've literally just blooming watched that with you.
Jack, name 3 Sky Bet League 2 teams.
Barrow, Accrington, and Newport. I was about to say Stephen.
How long we got now?
You're still on 20 seconds each time.
Oh.
So you got a break, yeah, but
That's right.
Brad, name 4 teams who play in red home shirts.
Liverpool, Accrington, Man United, and Salford.
you only said 3, didn't you?
4, mate.
Oh, 4. Yeah. Go on.
Jack, name 4 Accrington players from Merseyside.
Sean, Josh Woods, Coyle.
One more, mate.
Oh, one more, Sean Morley.
Brad, name 5 football teams beginning with the letter B.
Birmingham, Bristol, Bristol Rovers, Brackley Town, and Blackpool.
That's wrong. There's no team called Bristol, mate.
Bristol Rovers, Bristol City.
You didn't say Bristol, you just said Bristol. No. Point off.
That's good, that. I'm on it now. I am on it.
Name me 5 fast food places.
McDonald's, KFC, Subway,
What is this
Pizza
about?
Hut, Chinese. That's a fast food. You can take away.
Name one.
Greg's.
A Chinese.
Oh, Chinese. New Dragon. Blackburn.
That is so unfair.
Right, okay, so tie-break question. Jack scored in the first game of the season against Newport, but what minute?
23rd.
I was going to say 24. It was 23 something. It was 23 and something, so it's in the 24th minute, I think. That's what it says on Sky Sports anyway, with the boot next, with the goal next to it. I looked.
I just looked at them at the end of the game, match rating, man of the match.
Winner was 24 minutes.
Unlucky, mate. And you all said I was thick. Cheers, mate.
That's right. Go to the end of the game, man of the match.
Yeah.
So in terms of this year, Jack, obviously you've got off to a cracking start, but what's your sort of personal ambition for this year as a whole?
What, individually or
Both, individually and obviously as a team.
You know, I've said it obviously every year. I think you know, when I've had interviews and that, like, it's just to get games under my belt and have more of a consistent season of, you know, playing week in, week out, and, you know, not playing one game and then missing 4 and rah. So that was obviously the main aim. But then obviously, you know, I like to score goals, I like to create things. So, you know, I have my own numbers in my head that I want to try and reach, and, you know, obviously that could go well, it could not. But I think the main thing for me is just to go and play games and get a full season under my belt, which I've not really had in a while. So, but then obviously collectively as a team, you know, I think obviously everyone obviously knows what happened last season and how disappointed we all were with how that went. So I think obviously we want to try and right the wrong from last year, and we started on a good foot, but obviously, like I said, it's not get carried away. You know, there's a long way to go. And like I said, I think the team in there, we're all with our heads on it, just thinking one game at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, and then see where we are, you know, come March, April time, and hopefully we're where we want to be.
And one thing I'm genuinely interested in is, where do you see yourself playing your best football? Because in the sort of just short of a year that I've been here, I've seen you play 3 or 4 different positions. So where is it? Or is there not really a role for you? That,
do you know what? I like obviously, naturally, I am a winger. You know, obviously I can play in the 10, I can play at the dreaded left back role if I need to. But do you know, I'll always play. I'll play centre half if I have to. Do you know what I mean? I just want to play games. But I think, you know, where I've been playing, you know, has suited me. You know, it's not a free role, but you've got the license to do what you want in the attacking third of the pitch. And, you know, even when we played Blackburn in pre-season, I was playing up front. You know, like anywhere I'm put, I'll give it a go. Do you know what I mean? But now I think anywhere in that attacking 4 is me to a T, really, where I can just go and get on the ball and do what I like to do, really. And obviously with the players we've got here at the moment as well, you know, everyone can play along them in that rotation, if you see what I mean. So it's a good balance to have. So,
well, I think on behalf of everyone at the club, keep up the good form, because it's obviously great to see, and it's making my life 10 times easier when you're scoring. But that's all we have time for today. A huge thank you to Conor, Brad and Jack for giving up their time. Tickets are still on sale for tomorrow's clash with Notts County, as well as the upcoming home games against Carlisle United and Mansfield Town. So a huge thank you for watching, and bye for now.